The number of people who have died in the floods caused by heavy rains in Brazil has risen to 158, and 88 people are reported missing. In the state of Rio Grande do Sul, located in the south of the country, the death toll and damage have been increasing due to the floods caused by rains that have been ongoing for more than 2 weeks. According to a statement from the civil defense in the state, the number of dead has been updated to 158 and the number of missing to 88. The statement noted that the number of people affected by the flood exceeds 2.3 million, and 82,066 people have been rescued from the disaster areas. It was also mentioned that search and rescue operations are continuing with approximately 30,000 people. According to the latest statement from the National Civil Aviation Agency, ANAC, the rains are expected to continue until the weekend. State of disaster declared on May 3rd, Rio Grande do Sul Governor Eduardo Leite stated, "We are going through an extremely exceptional situation. This is not just a critical event, it is the most destructive event in the state's history." Due to the magnitude of the tragedy, Leite declared a state of disaster for 180 days and emphasized the serious efforts being made to evacuate people. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, who has visited the affected areas 3 times, has expressed that they will rebuild the region. The diplomatic crisis between Spain and Argentina escalates. The diplomatic crisis between Spain and Argentina, which began with comments made by Argentine President Javier Milei targeting Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez, and escalated when Spain recalled its ambassador to Buenos Aires, shows no signs of abating. Milei's remarks about corruption allegations involving Sanchez's wife and his claim that the Spanish Prime Minister has been tainted prompted Spain to demand a public apology. However, Argentina refused to comply with this demand. Responding to the request from Spanish Foreign Minister José Manuel Álvarez, Argentine Interior Minister Guillermo Francos stated, "I don't understand why they are so fragile. There is nothing to apologize for." Francos, speaking to Argentina's TN television, argued that the Spanish government's reaction was exaggerated and that there was no crisis situation warranting an apology. "There is no need to apologize. The attacks came from the Spanish government, therefore there is nothing to apologize for," he said. Meanwhile, Spanish Foreign Minister Álvarez, who summoned the Argentine ambassador to Madrid for talks, reiterated in an interview with Spanish TV channel La Sexta that Milei's remarks during a speech at a far-right Vox Party event in Madrid targeted Spanish institutions and warranted an apology. Spain's stance is clear and determined. "If Milei does not apologize publicly, we will take the necessary measures," Álvarez stated. Álvarez emphasized that no country would tolerate a head of state coming to their country and insulting their prime minister and state institutions. He added, "We hope these words will be corrected. If not, we will make decisions to defend the honor, sovereignty, and democracy of our state. However, I must stress that we will never make a decision that would harm the ties between 2 brotherly, friendly peoples." Expressing his surprise at the reaction of the far-right Vox Party, the main opposition People's Party, and the Spaniards who applauded Milei during his speech in Madrid, Álvarez noted that the issue was not about Prime Minister Sánchez, but about the honor and sovereignty of Spain's state institutions. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez, speaking at a conference today, stated that Spain's response to Argentina would be in line with the honor of democracy, warning that the far right is becoming an international risk. Background of the diplomatic crisis. The diplomatic crisis between Spain and Argentina dates back to early May. It was triggered by comments from Spanish Transport Minister Oscar Puente, who said about Milei, "I saw him on TV and, after hearing what he said, I told myself, I don't know what substances he is using, but he's on drugs. It's impossible for him to win the elections." But he did. Following these comments, the Argentine presidency issued a written statement harshly criticizing Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez, referring to corruption allegations involving his wife. The statement claimed that Sánchez had much more important issues to deal with, such as the corruption accusations against his wife, and expressed hope that, for the sake of the Kingdom of Spain, justice will act swiftly to clarify this kind of corruption scandal that directly affects the stability of your nation and thus relations with our country. Despite attempts by both sides to defuse the crisis, President Milei's remarks at a Vox Party event in Madrid on May 19th further inflamed the situation. Milei described socialism as inviting death, damned, and cancerous, and accused Prime Minister Sanchez of being tainted by his corrupt wife, stating that he had considered this matter for 5 days. In response, Spanish Foreign Minister Alvarez announced that Spain had recalled its ambassador to Buenos Aires for consultations and warned that if Milei did not publicly apologize to Spain, necessary measures would be taken to defend their sovereignty and honor. You can subscribe to my channel for free to stay updated with the latest world news. Thank you.